Hey guys, stick around to the end and I'll introduce you to my real-life peacock named Royal.
Hi, I'm Wendy Swore, author of The Wish and The Peacock, and we are reading Chapter 4 from Inside the Combine today. Facts are facts. Miss Dolly's enormous face takes up most of the sign, and she's grinning with perfect white teeth like she's so proud of herself. When Scuzzbag drops a half-eaten mouse on the porch, he's mighty proud of himself too, but that doesn't mean I have to like what he's left behind. The rest of the sign says, bargain sale, 80 acres of prime commercial land with house and outbuildings. Bargain sale. Reading it makes my stomach twist like I drank a whole glass of curdled milk. I might not be allowed to drag Miss Dolly out by the ankles in real life, but I can topple her graven image in nothing flat. I crouch and set the blade against the base of the sign, but Scotty grabs my arm. Don't move. Oh, man. Not now, Scotty. This is important. It'll only take a minute. Scotty holds on tight, but leans over me real slow, and then pounces with both hands cupped down to the ground. Got him! What do you need another grasshopper for? We've got work to do. I get sawing back and forth, a thin furrow growing beneath my blade. Watch the road. It's not a grasshopper, it's a katydid. He peers between his fingers at his new prize. Hello, little Microcentrum rhombifolium. Don't be scared. You'll be with your family. Looks like a grasshopper to me. Wood flakes salt the grass by my knees, and I draw the saw faster across the signpost, the metal rasping against the wood. A couple minutes later, I break through my first post and set the teeth against the second. Scotty taps my shoulder. Someone's coming. I hide the saw deep between two clumps of weeds before scrambling to my feet. Who is it? Don't know. Scotty steps back to give me a clear view of a shiny red Dodge Ram as it comes up the road. I don't recognize the driver, but he's got sunglasses and a tiny fancy hat like he's some kind of secret FBI agent. Scotty waves, being neighborly, but the man doesn't wave back, which proves he's a stranger. Everybody waves here. The stranger looks this way and that, like he's got no idea where he's going at all. When he gets right up beside us, he slows down to give Dolly's stupid sign a long once-over before rolling on by. Shoot! I was hoping no one would notice the sign before we cut it down, but that chance is gone. I dive for the saw. Let's get this done. For someone with such a fancy car, Miss Dolly sure does use wimpy posts for her signs. I don't even break a sweat sawing through. If Dad had posted a sign, he would have used pressure-treated wood or railroad tie or something that would last past the first hard gust of wind. When my saw bites through the last of the wood and the whole thing topples over, Scotty giggles. Timber! For good measure, we kick gravel and weeds over what's left of the poles till it looks like any other patch of weeds along the side of the road. It took barely 10 minutes to take that sign down, but hiding the whole thing is a lot trickier. I send Scotty on ahead to watch for Grandpa and Mom while I carry the board on my back like a flat turtle to the canal and then drop it in. Good thing we did, 'cause Scotty hisses a warning. Another car! I think it's Miss Pruitt. Gosh dang. Of all the luck, I drop the saw and double check that we've covered our tracks best we can. I'm mostly sure that a car can't see inside the canal from the road, but it still sets my teeth on edge when Miss Pruitt's rusty station wagon rumbles over the last rise and slows down. Like always, she almost breaks her neck from gawking around so hard. Think she'll stop? Scotty talks through his smile, and I do the same. I hope not. I wave, cheerful like, and breathe a sigh of relief when she rolls on by. Ugh, why'd it have to be her? That lady couldn't keep a lid on a jar if it was bolted down. Hopefully she didn't notice anything, because if she did, it'll be all over the county before supper. Dust envelops us as she rounds the corner, and I grab the saw. After that, it's easy to walk along the canal as the board floats hidden beside us. Near the house, Grandpa waves from the south field where he's been fighting with the tractor. With the saw tucked tight against my back, I wave. Nothing to see here, just minding our own business. We walk on. At the culvert where the canal tunnels underground, we grab the corner of the sign and drag it out, dripping wet. Should we carry it the rest of the way? Scotty asked. Nah, this is fine. I drop it face down and drag it so Miss Dolly's polished smile can kiss every rock, weed, and twig on the way to the burn pile. I smirk, imagining all that dirt getting stuck between her teeth. The screen door bangs open and we drop the sign on the high grass as Mom steps onto the porch and spots us. Paige? Scotty? We keep walking all natural, but veer toward the house. Yes, Mama? I say. Have you done the chickens and the pigs yet today? Her wandering gaze slides away from us and over the fields, like she's looking for something but can't remember what it is. Yes, ma'am, Scotty reports. Did them first thing and checked the cows. Oh, cows, right. Yeah. Good job, hun. She half turns away, picks up one of my old robots from the windowsill on the porch and starts fiddling with the arm piece without looking at what she's doing. I keep thinking I'm forgetting something. She sure is forgetting something, like how delicate my robots are. Of course, I shouldn't have left it out like that, but there was only so much I could carry that day. I keep thinking I'll bring it in and finish it when I have time, but time's like a lit fuse, and no matter what I do, it just keeps getting shorter. Is it your homework? Maybe you got a test tomorrow for nursing or something? Scotty asks. Oh, I'm studying, but I could swear there's something I should... Her head snaps up, and she stares long and hard across the fields before turning back into the house and disappearing inside with my bot. The screen door slams after her. Did she remember what she forgot? Scotty shades his eyes. Is it a test? It was just her heart pulling towards the field again. It's normal time for Dad to come in. I think losing someone you love is like having a puzzle all put together nice, maybe your most favorite puzzle in the whole world. And then someone goes and takes out half the pieces. You might could tell what the picture was, but it won't ever be the same again. I sigh and try to ignore the gnawing hole inside me. I'm missing a fair number of pieces myself. We lift up the corner of the sign again. Come on, we're almost there. Each year we gather all the leaves, twigs, and Christmas trees and pile them higher and higher until New Year's Eve. Then at the stroke of midnight, Dad would tuck a firework he'd saved from the 4th of July down inside, make a wish for all of us, and light the wish fire. Like a giant birthday candle to welcome in the new year. We make our own wishes too. Mom, Scotty, and me make our wishes by blowing on s'mores cooked over the wish fire and then eating them all warm and gooey delicious mess. Grandpa likes to gaze up to heaven through the fiery pinpricks of ashes riding the winter breeze and send his wishes on up to Grandma. But Dad always pulls a stone out of his pocket, whispers his wish to it, and then tosses it deep into the heart of the fire. He picks a new stone every year when he plants the first crop, and he carries it with him in his pocket like a lucky penny. Last year, we almost didn't light the wish fire, but Grandpa said there was no use in letting a perfectly good burn permit go to waste. But as it burned, all I could think of wishing for was a time machine. I filled a bucket of water and set it in the snow just in case we needed it. At least Scotty was happy, especially when I said he could have my s'more. Seeing as it's only April now, the pile is only a little taller than me. After pulling a few branches off the pile, Scotty and I shove the sign as far as we can underneath the brush. The edges of the board scratch deep ruts into last year's ashes. Pushing charred pieces of wire, hinges, and rocks aside, a double bump on the edge of one blackened stone catches my eye. I pluck it out of the ashes. Flat and smooth, it rests in the palm of my hand. A scorched, heart-shaped stone. Scotty peers over my shoulder. Is that Dad's lucky rock? I think so. From 2 winters ago. I should put it back. Keep it safe in the ashes like a penny in a wishing well. But my fingers close around it and I can't quite make myself let go. I slip it into my pocket. Come on, let's hide the sign. We sprinkle grass, twigs, and leaves all over and chuck big branches over the mess so it's impossible to see where the old pile stops and the new camouflage begins. Should we light it? Scotty nudges a lump of dead grass with the toe of his boot. Light the wish fire early? That's crazy. Nah, we'll light it on New Year's like always. Unless we aren't here. His voice is so soft, I don't think he means for me to hear, but I do, and neither of us can talk for a while after that. Later, we scramble up the sidewall to check on our peacock again. A thin line of white outlines his bright black eye, which watches us carefully. If he could talk, what would he wish for? Maybe he wishes he landed somewhere else, somewhere with his family. I tilt my head. And he does too. Probably he wished he never got hurt at all. He'd probably heal in a few weeks. That's way better than hurts on the inside that seem to go on and on. Well, being alive means hurting sometimes, and we make do with what we've got. Scotty flops down beside me, and after a while, his brain starts leaking facts again. Did you know peacocks live in India? That's on the other side of the world. Nope, I've only ever seen them in zoos. Did you know girl peacocks are called peahens? I know about normal hens and geese and ducks. Doesn't seem that much different. Just prettier feathers. I can guess the rest. He pokes a blade of grass through the peacock's wire cage and lets it go when the bird snatches it and gobbles it whole. They're a whole different species. Guessing isn't good enough. What if we're wrong? We gotta know. I bet there's books on peacocks. We could share. Books are your thing, not mine. That's way too much sitting still. I get antsy if I don't have something to work on, like my bots or an engine, or even caring for one of my animals. I mean, who doesn't like a long scratch while they're munching on hay? My cows love it, and it's just as much fun for me to watch them flutter their eyelids as I find that perfect spot. Did you check Milkshake when you checked the cows today? Scotty purses his lips. I saw her, but she was kind of back from the trough. I didn't get a good look. Shoot, I was so distracted with the peacock, I clean forgot about Milkshake. I roll up and scoot to the side of the stack. I better go check. It was my job anyway, not yours. It's okay, you don't have to come. Wait! But I don't wait. I run across the farmyard feeling like a fool. I don't have time for mistakes like this. No matter what else is going on, I gotta get everything done. I can't let myself be tired or distracted. Farm work can't wait. Reaching for the top rail, I jump up to lean over the corral overlooking the herd. Milkshake! Scotty's small hands grab the rail right beside mine, but I pretend not to notice and keep scanning for my favorite cow. You read books to study about robots for Lego League. What if the peacock needs something special? We don't even know how much we don't know. I groan. Ugh. Once he starts looking stuff up, there is no stopping him. I'm not in the league anymore. Remember, I can't do it anymore. But you love it. What about your robots? It doesn't matter what I want. That was kid stuff. I got real life things I gotta do now. Besides, we've had loads of birds. It's probably the same as caring for a turkey. He hangs both elbows over the rail, and I can almost see his analytical brain kick into gear. You are a kid. 12 is a kid, not a teenager. There's no teen hanging off the end of your age. 13, 14, like that. And you don't even know if peacocks are like turkeys. That's a hypothesis, not a fact. You can't say things and make them facts just because you want them to be. You need evidence to support your conclusion. Evidence? Like what? I tap my finger on the rail and then holler over the herd again. Milkshake! Come on, girl! Milkshake sways into view, her rusty brown swollen belly pressing out half again further than the rest of her as she ambles up to us. The other cows have dropped their calves already, but Milkshake didn't take as fast as the rest, so she's still carrying. Evidence like facts from a zoologist. He leans over and scratches Milkshake's ears while I hop down, pluck some fresh grass, and pass him a few handfuls. Here, keep her busy for a minute. Milkshake's long, sandpapery tongue snakes out and curls around Scotty's bundle of grass, sliming his fingers as she pulls it in. She starts munching while I climb down inside the corral to check on her. Her udder's filling up, but her behind's not swollen yet. Maybe a couple more days before she calves? Dad would know for sure, but I give it my best guess. I scratch her back and press gently against the bulge on her side. The calf inside bumps back at my soft nudges. Almost time to meet you, I whisper and run my hands over her thick hide. It smells of dust, cut grass, sweat, and manure. City folks like Miss Dolly might think that manure smells bad, but to me, it's just part of who Milkshake is. Demanding that a cow not smell is like telling the rain not to make mud. Rain is wet. It just is. Books are excellent sources of information, Scotty says. They're credible and more reliable than the internet. He scrunches up his face. We have to have books. I sigh. Sometimes he's more focused than a hen after a worm. I know, but I have a lot to do. Maybe you can look up all that stuff and tell me if you find anything real important. Milkshake rubs her big forehead against my jeans as I climb out, asking for one more good scratch before I go. Don't worry. I'll be back to check on you. I rub her head and smile. I could tell you, or I could write you a note. He lights up like Mom just gave him a whole day free in the library. Sure, write all the notes you want. Chores done, we head in to wash up. We leave our shoes on the porch beside T-Rex, who snores softly from his nest of old sleeping bags. I used to spend loads of summer hours snuggled with him, my head pillowed on his side, his steady heartbeat and breath soothing against my ear. Scotty still naps with him sometimes, but if the sun's shining, I've got work to do. Scotty shoots a hopeful glance towards the kitchen, but no pans of sizzling bacon, casserole or biscuits and gravy wait for us on the stove. Between her nursing school and whatever she's doing in her sewing room, Mom's usually gone, even when she's here. He sighs and stares at the closed door of Mom's room, where the hum of a sewing machine whirs inside. I'm gonna starve to death. I'll make dinner. Can we have pizza? Only if there's some in the fridge already. The way he rushes to the kitchen, I almost feel sorry for him when he checks the shelves and bottom drawers, but comes up empty. With droopy shoulders, he trudges to the stairs. There's no pizza. Potatoes it is. I might not be the best cook in the world, but potatoes are a no-brainer. All I gotta do is wash off the dirt, stab them a few times with a fork, toss them in the oven, and ta-da! Dinner is served. We've been eating an awful lot of potatoes lately. Once I get the spuds in the oven, I clear some mail off the table and drop the letters in a basket on top of the piano before setting the table. Scotty's plate and mine go on one long side of the heavy wooden table, with Mom's plate across from us and Grandpa's on the far end. There's room enough for Scotty to slide around to the head of the table where Dad used to sit, but neither one of us does. None of us sit there. We never talk about it, but that's Dad's seat. That's all there is to it. When Grandpa comes in from the fields, his face and hands all smudged with grease and oil, I call Scotty down to eat and knock on Mom's door. Inside the room, the whirring stops. Yes? I lean my forehead against the door. Dinner's ready. I'll be right out. She makes it to the table about the same time that Grandpa shakes the last drops of soapy water off his hands and eases into his chair. I load my spud with butter and bacon bits because bacon. Does there really need to be another reason? Did Miss Dolly get that sign up on the road? Mom sprinkles salt over her potatoes on her plate. I thought she stopped at the end of the lane on the way out. Grandpa points his fork at Scotty. Did you see a sign? Scotty opens his mouth, but I kick his foot and head him off. There's no sign there now, I say. Maybe she forgot, Mom says. I shrug as Scotty stares at his plate. Technically, I told the truth. There is absolutely no sign at the end of the driveway right now. All I gotta do is keep quiet, but I know the truth is teetering on the edge of Scotty's tongue like a bucket of water about to spill over. The way he's squirming, he's probably half chewed his tongue off to keep it all inside. Well, I suppose another day or two won't make much difference, Mom sighs. Miss Dolly left a message that she'd be by in a couple of days to survey the property. Changes are coming soon enough. Everyone tucks into their food, and I stab my potato with my fork. Changes might be coming, but if I have anything to do with it, it'll be Miss Dolly who has a change of plans and not us. That's the end of chapter 4.
So this is our peacock. His name is Royal. And that's the warning call because the other peacocks don't like that I have a hold of him. But you can see he's got the cute little things growing on the top of his head. And his tail gets really long every year. I don't know if you can see it. He grows out every spring, and then in the fall, all of those feathers will fall out. They're very soft, but they don't like being held very much. So we'll have to give him a treat after this because it was nice of him to let me hold him. Thank you.